back.
Hey, Pop. It's your boy Quick. Man, so far I've been listening to this album, man, and I ain't heard nothing you could just kick back and smoke a beatie to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that. Some of that little smooth shit. Some of that shit make music drink, make you just think, and help you check a fat ass bank. So what you do me a favor, drop that shit only you know how. Feel me?
I'm barely standing, and plus my second hand say it's midnight. Some Alizé and Cristal guaranteed to get right. Like misdemeanors is a small thing. With DJ Quick in his bitch, I let my balls hang. Running through the street lights, cause we like young niggas. Get your mob on, show them what it's G like. Around the corner inside Vegas, or better yet like Reno. Niggas get poppin', welcome to our casino. Cause you and me know 100% like casino. Looking for a bitch that's half black and Filipino. And when I meet her, I'm on for some endo. So kissing out the window of a pearl white limo. So wanna be your man, I'm your nigga. Touch me here, rock it bigger while I'm digging. I get deep into your liver. I'm gang tight. Fucking bitches in the same night. My words are aphrodisiacs if you say I'm right. The clever profit, so I'm stopping at the Fat Burger. Look through the paper, it's another black crack murder. The city's full of surprises. You can live or you can die. You can fuck in the first night or try in the late night.
In the late night, but I'm here in the early morning. This is part 2. And I promised y'all, because like I said, I love Shannon Sharpe. Every time when he speaks on something like that, they ask him on there. This brother, he give it to you straight up. And, you know, as a black man myself, it's using his platform they ask him about this, about what goes on with our people or whatever like that. He give it to him raw, and he doesn't coon or anything like that. But this is the one I wanted to tell y'all about, the one with Ray Lewis at. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play it for y'all, let y'all listen to it, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary.
And I'm glad I know where he stands on this topic. The commissioner is looking at it from a point like, I'm a patriot. I love patriotism. I love the values and the freedoms that this country provides. Well, Colin Kaepernick in that sense is a patriot, because he said, although I've been very successful, although we've come a long way, I believe we can have a better society. You know, people, and this is what I don't understand, is that people will say, let's just say for the sake of argument, 1,000 athletes or entertainers, and says, well, what are black people complaining about? Well, there's 34 million African Americans, or the minorities. I've never heard anyone say, well, the LBG community is not being discriminated against because Ellen DeGeneres has her own show. She's making millions. No one ever says, well, women get 78 to 83 cents on the dollar compared to a man because Meg Whitman is a billionaire. But they only say that about African Americans because you see a Ray Lewis or a Shannon Sharpe played in the National Football League on television, or Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan. But the greatest one, you got President Obama in the White House. So America ain't racist. Stop it. And America has always had a problem with racism. I think now it's because of the cell phone, because it's captured more and it's in your face. We don't have to wait till 6 o'clock to see it not, Skip. Yeah. You do it, it's up on the internet right now. Commissioner, I believe Commissioner has a right to say what he says, but the First Amendment is a beautiful thing, unless you don't agree with the gesture. But you should be uncomfortable. A protest should make you uncomfortable.
Right.
It should come with consequences.
Right.
So Colin, if the 49er says, Colin, we're going to suspend you for 3 games, so be it. He's getting his point across, because Muhammad Ali, all the greats that's taking a stand, John Carlos and Tommy Smith, they took a stand.
Right.
They could have waited till they come home, but it would not have served the same purpose. Well, wait till you get out of the uniform. No, it wouldn't serve the same purpose. We want you to be uncomfortable. We want you to come to the table and talk intelligently.
So are you criticizing the commissioner's stance on this?
I wish he'd have had a more positive spin. He's making it seem like Colin Kaepernick isn't a patriot. This was never about the flag. This was never about the veterans. He told you what it was about. But
right.
You still keep trying to take it back there because you don't want to talk about the issues in which Colin Kaepernick is raising.
Yeah, listen, when you think about what...
here come RayCoon Lewis.
I think about the most is Muhammad Ali, Jim Browns, all of these guys. If you come out with this type of stand, the most important thing next is a solution. You must have a solution. Yes. Because if you don't have a solution, then we're just protesting for nothing, right?
Yeah.
So when Colin comes out and does what he does, if Colin calls, Shay, and you know this, if Colin calls 50 to 100 guys around the league and say, man, listen, what I'm standing for, I guarantee you get a lot of them to follow you. Right? But sometimes when you go by yourself, the thing that happens is nobody understands what the deal is until you start to actually get into it. So now you think about what Roger's stance is right now. Roger has the stance that says, listen, I get it, Colin. A lot of people stand, a lot of players stand for different things, but you got to understand what you're standing for. I don't think it's about the flag per se, right? Because my only advice to Colin Kaepernick is this. Listen, I understand what you're trying to do, but understand, take the flag out of it, right? I have uncles. I got.
Did he just say a contradiction? God damn it. Ooh, he gets me hot.
To understand that, I will always respect that part of what our patriotism should be. Right? And that's the side that I think if Colin really just steps back, because to effect change, right? To effect true change and what he's trying to say, if you don't have a real solution, if you ain't seen as a true activist to go into these hoods and do these things on a daily basis and not just jump up and just protest off this one thing because you're sick of it. We've been sick of racism for 400 plus years.
But we want our counterparts to acknowledge it and not sweep it under the rug and tell us it's a figment of our imagination.
Okay, there's Shannon back again. He finna check him.
But Jordan is a billion.
Oh, goddamn, these goddamn notifications.
Some flags on TV that have success, everything in our community, everything in the LBG community is okay because it's not okay. Right. But you have to understand this, and what the commission must understand also is the flag doesn't represent all things to all people the exact same way. Okay. And that's what he's trying to do. If that flag represents freedoms and liberties, I should have freedoms and liberty. And just like his First Amendment, that he has the right to do that, to say, okay, Colin, I think you should have found another way. What other way is? We say, don't riot. They say, we're going to do it peacefully. Okay, we're going to just take a knee. But don't protest like that. If you tell me how I should protest, you're kind of minimalizing and weakening what I can do because you're not trying to hear me. You keep what they keep trying. The argument that Colin is.
I'm sorry, people.
They keep trying to take it back to socks. They keep taking it back to the flag. They keep taking it back to the veterans. Let's talk about the issues, right? That what Colin is trying to draw attention to, and then we can get some of our better leaders. Let's get some of our better leaders and say, okay, guys, but we got to have the counterparts, We got to have them at the table because having Dr. Michael Eric Dyson or Roland Martin and some of our foremost thinkers in our community, Dr. Harry Edwards, is not. Me sitting around a table with a bunch of black guys ain't going to solve anything until we get a bunch of white guys that's in position of authority that can really
get them, Shannon. Get them.
Dr. King's civil rights movement was great, but it wasn't until the whites came on our side and said, you know what, this is wrong.
I got you.
And once they did that, Skip, it got legs.
Speaking of white guys, I am obviously one.
Now this Skip Bayless talking. You see Ray Lewis, he looking like a deer caught in the headlights.
I cringed. I'm one nation
Clueless.
under God, and I felt like I was already painfully aware of the issue he was trying to draw national attention to, which is that way too many unarmed black men are getting killed by white cops without retribution, without punishment.
Yes.
It's a staggering problem that our nation faces, and I'm begging. I begged Shannon the other day on our first show. Just point me in the right direction. How do we fix this? Well, I don't have a solution to it, to use your word.
It's not a short-term fix, though, Skip.
So then,
400 years in the making.
I got it. But there's some fix. At least we're moving in the right direction. So then I opened my ears and my eyes to what Colin was saying. And he started to extremely impress me because as a kid quarterback, he was a little angry, a chip on his shoulder, wouldn't talk to the media, kind of turned me off from him, even though I loved him as a player and often applauded him as a player on this show. But now I'm hearing a young man who's growing up because his last couple of interviews, they've been mature, powerful, well-informed.
Yes.
He's talking to activists and advocates, and he's asking for veterans to come talk to him. He is educating himself. It's almost like he has a whole second career going right now, which is this issue. He has brought great national attention to this issue. So all of a sudden...
Now that's one thing I can say about Kaepernick. He definitely got the country talking.
Run by Roger Goodell. Right. So Roger felt compelled to finally speak out, and he basically said, time out, appreciate your stance, your First Amendment right, but this is our league. It's not yours. You're just blessed to be able to play. You put words in about that's how it came across to me.
We understand.
You're blessed to play in our league, and I control our league. So I do believe in the uniform code, that it has to be sacred, that you can't protest on your uniform or whatever your cause is. It's all got to be the same because we all love the National Football League. We're going to watch tonight, and we don't want to get distracted by various whatever's on the uniform. Maybe it's breast cancer. Who knows? They're all great causes, but you can't, cloud the uniform. You can't distract the fans from what they love, which is the football game. So I think finally he said, we've all got to do what we got to do in the anthem also, that we have to be patriots or whatever he's saying. He's just saying this is our league, and we do have sponsors who don't like your protest, and so we've got to do it this way. Is that fair to me? I mean, it's big business, and that's what he just took a big business stand, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but listen, but I think, understand the solution, right? And so I want people to really hear this, and you understand this being on great teams, right? Being on great teams is the same thing, exactly what police officers must do. When you're on a great team, the top tier weed out the weaker tier, right? If somebody's doing something wrong in the locker room, you didn't need nobody. You didn't need a coach to come tell me we took care of that.
We took care of
and
that.
In today's time, police must police themselves.
Okay, I like it.
Because if
Well,
they're
see,
not
Ray, that's the problem. They're not
there's no
doing
way
that.
we can ever stop
Okay?
what's really going on, right? Because when you think about what's going on 400 years
Hold on,
plus,
hold on.
the only thing that's changed is social media.
Hold on. See, this is where the misinformed, uneducated is like that. Okay, the police are not doing that. They're not weeding out the the race soldiers that had infiltrated and festered into law enforcement. So I don't know where he comes from with that crap from. I mean, that sounds like a whole bunch of horse manure, But the problem is, that white America got to start realizing you don't need no training. No, y'all need to come and admit that you got a problem, that your so-called country is being taken away from you, and you got to weed out the white supremacists that fester in the law enforcement department on local, state, and federal levels. All right, let me get back to that.
The only thing that's changed is these things are absolutely captured now, right? And now it's more of a sensitive issue because you're saying, how can that happen? But watch this. You think about, and so this is what I'm screaming, and I'm telling Colin, I'm applauding you. I'm applauding him for taking the stand for that. Right. But I'm also saying, if you look at CNN yesterday, a topic came out yesterday, 500 homicides in less than 9 months in one city in Chicago. Right.
Oh, here we go to Chicago again. Once again, he uses Chicago as a talking point. See, this is what I'm talking about. What pisses me off with him.
Kids, you will know it, and that's the problem.
Black and white cops.
Absolutely.
Because here's the thing, and when you talk about Shannon, all cops are not bad. I understand that, but all blacks are not bad either. So don't come with a preconceived notion because we committed crimes, or there's so many a majority of, or some, not a majority, but some blacks commit crimes. Don't have no preconceived notion because you arrested one on the corner, you see me, that I'm just like him.
Right.
Because if you want me to give you the benefit of the doubt, all I ask for is that same benefit of the doubt in return. That's all I ask. No more and no less. I'm going to treat you how I would like for you to treat me. And if you see wrong, that's wrong. But they won't do that. Police union, they're going to fight to the end. They won't release information, and when they won't release tape. And when they know they've done wrong, instead of saying, get out, you don't understand what I find odd is that if you go to a courtroom and you see the show, the prosecutor will turn on the camera, will turn on the videotape, and you see the guy rob the store.
This is where Shannon, he's shutting Ray Lewis dumb ass straight.
But when we see a cop shoot an unarmed black man, we got to put it in the context. We don't know what happened before. We don't know what was said. We don't know what was led up to it. Right. Come on. Right. If you say non-compliance, and this is the word that cops like to use, non-compliance. If I tell you to stop, you should stop. Well, if non-compliance is a death sentence for a black man, whites don't get that. Right. They get the benefit of the doubt. They do everything they possibly can to take those guys. Not in all cases. And I say this all the time. Nothing is all. Nothing is everything. Right. But disproportionately, when you're of the population, and 26% of your people are getting killed by the police. There's something wrong with that shit. There's something wrong with that.
Very wrong with that.
Look at Ray Lewis don't know what to do with himself. Like I said, he got that deer caught in the headlight look again.
To come from where I came from to where we came, and you grew up kind of like I did. To be dirt poor, to have nothing, and to be able to bring my family, my brother and I, to elevators. I don't know any other country who would have allowed us to do that. But I'm not going to sit here and say it's perfect. No. We can get better. Right. Is it good? Absolutely it's good. There's good in America. And I believe there's inherently good in all of us. But we got to do better. And we can do better. But what we must demand as Americans that we all do better. Yeah. Not just our community. Right. We're asking all minorities, just hear us out. Just listen to us. That's all. We don't want a handout. Right. But all I'm saying, if you're not gonna lend your hand to help me up, don't push me down. Right.
Don't put me down. Exactly.
Shannon, that was beautifully said. Way to go.
Skip. I've only known you for a couple of years, and I know a few good white men, and I worked for one, and when I couldn't pay to get my stuff for the 8th grade, my grandmother went and borrowed the money from me. My sister graduated. My grandmother went and borrowed the money from him. But Skip, your honesty and sincerity on this topic, and the way you've embraced this debate, you will not, a lot of people would, I don't want to talk about that. I'm going to get brushed back. I'm not white. They don't understand. They're not going to understand. But you will talk and tackle this tough topic because it's tough. Yeah. Because as African Americans, we're asking white Americans to sit at the table with us, and some of them have inflicted the most harm upon the African American community. But for you to do what you do continuously and to talk this topic and say, I understand, although I have not experienced it, I understand. See, in my Hall of Fame speech, I said, look, I don't want you to walk a mile in my shoes. I want you to spend 20 years of my life. See, if you've never been the minority or never had discrimination or been profiled, unless you've never been called out of your name, called the N-word. Yeah. See, I grew up in rural South Georgia. Yeah. And see, my high school, we used to have white and black superlatives. We had a black most athletic. We had a white most athletic. We had a most likely to be black and a white.
I hope those days are over.
It's just the middle school now. I don't know. I haven't been back. But I'm saying it was real. But look, there's good. Even in the South, they treated me good. The guy, like I said, Mr. Joe Tatum, he was good. Gave me the name Pee Wee, and even when I was a professional, going back, he was so proud of me. I was so proud of what he did because there were times that my grandmother didn't have. She had to go borrow from him, and then we'd have to work during the summer to pay it back. So I know there's good, but I know we can do better.
I agree, and thank you.
All right. That was NFL Hall of Famer, former Denver Bronco, former Baltimore Raven tight end, Shannon Sharpe, younger brother of Sterling Sharpe, who played with the Green Bay Packers. But it's one of the realest cats that even I had the pleasure of meeting one time and stuff, and I'm looking forward to meeting him again. But I applaud Shannon Sharpe for, very intelligent brother. See, he's one of those rare athletes, ex-athletes. He don't kowtow. He doesn't bend over. He doesn't coon or none of that stuff. But he knows how to hold a conversation. He knows how to hold a dialogue. He's a cancer, so he's gonna be loud. He's gonna be heard. So cancers got big mouths. Water sign like myself. But I just wanted y'all to hear that. And Ray Lewis tried to come with that, trying to throw that little shade, slick, trying to throw Colin under the bus type junk. But Shannon Sharpe shut him down real quick. And so very eloquently, Ray Lewis ain't even had no comeback for it. I wish I could have showed you the video on my podcast, but who knows? That might come later on, though. But like this. But the thing is, like I said, I stand 12 million% behind Colin Kaepernick. And as you seen in my first part one of this, the coons are coming out till November. Reason why I titled that, because let me tell you the reason why a lot of you see these ex-black athletes coming out and throwing shade at Kaepernick. As well as Stephen A. Smith. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. President Obama is getting ready to leave office. So now these handkerchief heads are now scurrying around like chickens with their heads cut off, are trying to jockey in for position so they can get back good, being good with massa. You know, with white supremacy daddy. But now they starting to realize, thanks to Kaepernick, that white supremacy daddy ain't so invincible. And they starting to go ahead and realize that, you know, a lot of them. Hold on, excuse me, I apologize. It's real early and stuff like that, so you know, because it's been heavily on my mind. So I said, like, let me go ahead. I'm gonna do one on that. I normally don't do nothing on Sundays because come tomorrow. But this was like well said though. And it needs to be go ahead and put out with these coons, because like before we can either go ahead and constantly battle white supremacy, and you know we got to deal with the enemy on the inside too, because we got a lot of coons and agents running around in the black community and everything too, you know, and a lot of them posing at these old pro-black or revolutionary RBG type cats, and you know they're coming in all shapes and sizes. So you know. That's the thing on there. But before I go ahead and sign off, tune in to my show tomorrow. As while I'm still going ahead and investigating, I'll be talking about Darren Seals. Rest in peace to that young warrior king, the Ferguson activist that was shot and shot to death and burnt in his car and stuff. And it's been flooded all over the internet because you know he had exposed. You know, not only Ferguson Police Department, but he exposed some of the quote-unquote atrocities in the Black Lives Matter movement, particularly some of the leaders and so on and so forth. But I'll be going ahead and I'll be talking about that tomorrow on my podcast, which is, you know, News Monday. But on this day, on Sunday, I normally don't do nothing, but I said this is a Sunday special, and I wanted to go ahead and give this to you. But before I sign off, let me just do my part here real quick. If you're ever stopping up there in the Liberty City area or South Florida area and you're looking for black-owned businesses, you know, stop by over here, Kai's Kitchen 305, which is on 762 Northwest 62nd Street. That's right here in Miami. You know, Caribbean cuisine, get more bang for your buck. And if you want something on an Afrocentric apparel, or you're looking for something on a gospel tip, or most primarily, you have your shoes repaired, you could go ahead and try Green & Sons, which is right next door, which is also on 62nd Street and off Northwest 7th Avenue. As well as Rasul's Menswear, sportswear. Not just known for men, but for ladies too. You know, they got the best of the best in there. It's been here. All the business has been here for like 30, 40 years. Black owned, black operated. You go to Rasul, talk to Ronald Malik. He can hook you up real nice, fellas. And also, if you want to go ahead and you buying that suit, but you feel like it's too big and you need to have it, quote unquote, tailor-made or altered, just holler at King's Tailors, man. King Tailors right there around the corner, right there on Northwest 62nd Street and 7th Avenue. You know, so, you know, we got to go ahead and support the black-owned businesses, and I support the Bank Black movement as well. You know, we got to go ahead and get our economics in order. Black dollars, kick the black dollars here in the black neighborhoods. Whether you here in Liberty City, whether you here in Overtown, whether you in Brownsville, whether you are in Opelika, Carroll City, or Miami Gardens, as they call it, you know, or Little Haiti, same way. You know, let's go ahead and try to use that to unify, multiply, and solidify, building an economic power base. Oh, and by the way, also, just to let you know about 3 things real quick. I'm not exactly sure, but I think I'll let Tariq Nasheed go ahead and talk about that. But I think he's maybe making his way back down here to Miami. I'm not exactly sure. I'll get more details on that. Second of all, Second, also be ready for the greatest documentary to come out since Hidden Colors 4 and all the other Hidden Colors, and that is Gentrified, Ethnic Cleansing American Style, which is produced by the Black Channel Films, you know, with Jason Black, also with some help. And you know, like I said, this is a real important project because you're talking about gentrification, and it's going on everywhere. Even right here in Miami, right here in my hometown, right here in my home in Liberty City. It's everywhere, man. It's just not here. You go to any other cities, in Jacksonville, in Tampa, in Orlando, in Tallahassee, stuff like that, in Atlanta, Houston, New Orleans, LA, Chicago, New York, you know, Cleveland, Detroit, you know, places like that, even up in Tennessee, like in Memphis and everywhere. So, you know, be on the lookout for that. It's called Gentrified, Ethnic Cleansing American Style. But anyway, this your main man, this your guy, the true rider, the true rider, the real one, Mr. O. Going ahead here, and I'm signing off. Peace, Hotep, Islam. And I need some ride out music. Guys, take me away.
Hey, Pop. Hey, Pop. It's your boy Quick. Man, so far I've been listening to this album, man, and I ain't heard nothing you could just kick back and smoke a beady to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that. Some of that smooth shit. Some of that shit make music drink, make niggas think, and help you check a fat ass bank. So what you do me a favor and drop that shit only you know how.
I know it's early in the morning. Okay.
Feel me?
I'm barely standing, and plus my second hand say it's midnight. Some Alizé and Cristal guaranteed to get right. Like it's the meanest, it's a small thing. With DJ Quick in his pitch, I let my balls hang. Running through the street lights, cause we like young niggas get your mind bone, show them what it's G like. Around the corner, it's like Vegas, or better yet like Reno. Niggas get out there, welcome to our casino. Cause you and me know 100% like casino. Looking for a bitch that's half black and Filipino. And when I meet her, I'm on for some windows. I'm kissing out the window of a pearl white limo. Don't wanna be your man, I'm your nigga. Just me here, I get bigger while I'm digging. I get deeper to your liver. I'm getting tight, looking bigger than the same night. My words are aphrodisiacs, if you say I'm right. The clever profit, so I'm dropping at the fat burger. Look through the paper, it's another black crack murder.